With Halloween just around the corner, I thought I'd get into the spirit of things and build something just a tiny bit spooky. So today we're going to take a look at how to make an evil lair in Minecraft. Now this is going to be perfect for plotting out evil plans, building disgusting creatures, and, well, doing all the other things that evil people do. I mean, to be honest with you, I couldn't really think of that much. I mean, what do evil people actually do on a daily basis? Let me know down in the comments section. But while I was planning this thing out, I was thinking to myself, what biome should I build this in? Will it be a jungle? No, that's a little bit too tropical. Could it be like a standard forest? That's just a tiny bit boring. Then I remembered the mushroom biome. But as you can see, this isn't any old mushroom biome. This is an amplified mushroom biome. And I have to say, it does not disappoint. This thing is absolutely perfect. And we're going to be building our evil lair in this area right here. As always with these sorts of builds, the first thing that we got to work on is the entrance. And I personally think the best way to enter an evil lair is to fly in. So we're going to be doing this with LAKEY. If you're playing on console or in Pocket Edition or something like that, then unfortunately you're just going to have to sort of fall in, I guess. But the LAKEY seems like a pretty good option to me. So we're going to create a 3x5 opening right here, which is going to be where all of our tripwires and all of our door is going to be going. Then we're going to have to clear out a little bit extra space to make way for all of the redstone. Now, due to how fast you actually fly with the LAKEY, we're going to have to set this door back just a tiny bit. So our tripwires are going to be going around about here, and we've got to go 4 blocks back from that point. So that's 2 there, and then we've got 3 and 4, and we're going to clear out all of this space, and then I'll catch you guys in a little bit. This is the area that I've created specifically for door constructing. So the first thing that I've got to do is I'm going to throw in all of my tripwire hooks, and I'm going to connect up all of those tripwire hooks. And what this should mean is if you fly in with the elytra, you should trigger at least one of these tripwires. If you've managed to go past all of the tripwires without triggering any of them, then you've managed to do something fantastic. But anyway, to hook up all of these, I'm then going to place some redstone down at the bottom, some redstone up at the top, some redstone right here, and we're going to connect up all 3 of those by using this redstone here. Now what that means is that whichever tripwire you activate, it will always give an output through this redstone right here. We're actually going to invert that using a redstone torch. Now that redstone torch signal is then going to run directly into this sticky piston on this wall, which is going to extend outwards. We should probably start chucking in the pistons for the piston door itself. So this is the side one, and we're going to have another side one over here, and another 3 up at the top facing downwards. So you should end up with an area that looks a tiny bit like this. Now this is all well and good. I mean, we've got 1 piston extending, but we do have another 7 left to go. So we should probably get to work on connecting those up. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a few blocks right here. I'm just going to run a redstone line down across next to all of these pistons. Now I know what you're thinking. How on earth is this redstone going to power those sticky pistons there? Well, actually, we need to pop down a few blocks, take out a few extra blocks down at the bottom, and then we're going to place in redstone torches beneath all of the sticky pistons. And the good news is because sticky pistons are transparent, the redstone torch doesn't actually power this block here, then power the redstone and cause that crazy burnout clock, because that would be bad news. Okay, that wouldn't work, but thankfully this is a pretty good solution to the problem. Then we can run a redstone into this block, and then some redstone, and some redstone, and then there we go. We've got half of the door fully extended, in fact more than half of the door fully extended. Now we just have to link up our top pistons. Now the way that we're going to do that is we're going to have to clear out a few blocks right here, and we're going to take a redstone torch output from this block. Now this works because this redstone gets powered by all of the tripwires, and then it runs up like this. This redstone is actually powering that block, which means that we can actually take an output from this thing, and we're going to run it along this line, make sure that it goes past this sticky piston right here, and we're going to run it up like this. Now I have to say it is getting a little bit tight up here, so I'm probably going to have to clear out a few extra blocks, place those blocks across like this, redstone dust next to all of those pistons there, and then we're going to carry that output down and across into the redstone torch, and there we have it. We've got ourselves a fully functional 3x3 piston door that is going to be perfect for use with the elytra. But there is one slight problem. It's really very ugly. So we've got some decorating to do right here. I'm just going to throw in all of my stone, and then on either side I'm just going to place in stone bricks going across like that, because of course this is a 3x3 door. We don't want visible pistons or anything like that. Then we're going to place in all of the blocks in the center. There it is, super fast 3x3 door. So now we've got to clear out a bunch of space behind this thing, because we've got to create a catching area. Obviously, if we fly in at a high speed, we don't want to travel through the door and smash straight into a wall, because that would be pretty bad. So we've got to create an elytra catching zone before we actually drop down into the evil lair itself. So this is the space that I've taken out. I have to say, it's probably not the prettiest thing in the world, but we're going to be creating a big water catching zone just behind the door right here. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got to take out a 3x3 area, and just because I want to, I think I'm going to fill in all of this with stone bricks as well, because if you don't do it now, you'll never do it, and it will forever be looking ugly. So I'm going to take out all of those. I'm also going to throw in stone bricks down at the bottom here as well. And of course, for the roof, we've got to do a pretty similar thing. Now, you have to watch out because, of course, you don't want to be taking out any of your redstone. We're going to be placing in stone bricks up at the top right here, stone bricks on the sides, and basically stone bricks all over the place. You guys know what I'm like. I love my stone bricks in Minecraft, so that should just about do us. And that's going to be the rest of the roof right there. So our water needs to go in all of these sections here, and we should get a big 3x3 cube of water, which should take quite a lot of the speed off our little entrance. Okay, so we fly in, we slow down, and then we end up on this side, and this is where we're going to travel downwards. Just because I think it looks lovely, I've thrown in glowstone at the bottom and the top to light up all of our water, and now it just looks like a water feature. I mean, you could definitely say that this is just a waterfall or a fountain that you have at the front of your base, as opposed to a high-velocity Minecraft player catcher. But anyway, we're now going to start work on the Evil Lair itself. You can see I've cleared out a few extra blocks right here, because we're going to be placing in a pressure plate, an iron door, a bunch of blocks around that iron door, which is a bit of a humble entrance, I know, and this is where our drop-down chamber is actually going to be going. Now, I have to say, it is going to be a tiny bit uninspiring once again. We're going to be using a bunch of stone bricks right here, a button in case you change your mind, and this is where we're actually going to be dropping down into the base. Before you all panic, I am well aware of the fact that a lot has changed since the previous clip, but this is the Evil Lair itself, and as you can see, we have gone for a sort of cave design. Now what I've done is I've dropped down by 3 blocks right here, so we've got 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then I've gone ham with the left click button. I've just taken out a bunch of blocks, and I've tried my best to make it look as natural as possible. So if you need some inspiration, then just take a look at the screen right now. There should be some pretty good inspiration there, then some inspiration there. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying this, because you could just go into any Minecraft cave and look at it. That would be plenty of inspiration for you guys. But if you're wondering how I've actually lit the thing, you can see we've got these little things dotted around here. Now, the cool thing about these is that they're actually made of a pressure plate, a hopper, and then we've got some glowstone down underneath that appears to be filled with TNT, which is a little bit strange. We've got the glowstone, and then we place the hopper on top, and then we place the pressure plate on top of that one. And one very important thing to do is to run around your cave and try your best to take a look at the light level. Now, the light level is at like the bottom left-hand corner of your F3 screen, and you can see currently it's light 10, and then we have light 9, and you just want to make sure that the block level is no lower than 7, because otherwise mobs can actually spawn. Now, everyone knows that the first requirement of an Evil Lair is bats. We need to have tons of bats in this place, so I thought we could build an atmospheric bat dispenser. So the first thing we've got to do is place in a dispenser like this. Now, I hate to say it, if you are playing in survival mode or you're building this in survival mode, this part isn't going to apply to you, but there's plenty of other awesome things to come. We're going to run a redstone input into the side of that block right there, which is going to be powering our dispenser. And then all we have to do is create a hopper clock. Now I'm going to place 2 hoppers running into one another just like that. Then we're going to take a comparator output from that one, running into a block with redstone dust on top, and then another comparator with a block, redstone dust on top, sticky pistons on either side of that one, and then a redstone block up at the top like that. Now we're going to need to chuck in a bunch of items on the inside of this thing, because we don't want hundreds upon hundreds of bats on the inside of our cave right here. We're going to take a repeater output from this thing and then run it into the block, and then there we go. That should dispense out a bat once you fill it with the bat spawn eggs. Once again, if you're playing in survival mode, unfortunately, you can't actually do that. The next most important thing in an Evil Lair is, of course, the mission control area. The place that has all of the levers, all of the switches, all of the buttons, all of the flashing lights that appear to do nothing, but probably do a bunch of evil different bits and pieces. So we've got to take out a few blocks, and then we're going to place a long line of blocks making its way across like that. Now my one's 7 blocks long, but of course you can do whatever you really fancy with this one. And then we're going to place a few redstone lamps going up like this, and a few more redstone lamps there, and probably a few more redstone lamps right there. And then we're going to fill in all of those blocks with stone bricks just to make it look a tiny bit nicer. So that should just about do the trick. And then down at the bottom here, we're going to have all of our levers and all of our buttons and other bits and bobs that are going to be controlling all of the various different evil things in the Evil Lair. Now, these are just for decoration in my redstone build, but if you do want to hook these up to things, then that would be amazing. Now, as you probably saw a couple seconds ago, I have cleared out a rather large space behind this thing to make way for all of the redstone. So I'm going to clear out all of these blocks so that we have access to our redstone lamps, and we now actually have to hook these redstone lamps into redstone circuits. So the first thing we've got to do is place blocks down at the bottom here with redstone torches on those. Then we need to place a line of blocks going across like this with redstone torches right there, and a line of blocks across the top like this with redstone torches on the other sides of them. Now, this was the only way that I could work out that I could independently power all of the redstone lamps without it powering other redstone lamps. There's a chance that I've been really silly here and missed something very obvious, but it seemed like a pretty good option to me. So the next thing that we've got to do is we've got to grab ourselves some repeaters, and we're going to run those into all of the different redstone lamps with various different delays. So this is what we've ended up with. We've got repeaters running into the blocks which power the redstone torches, and we've got a line of repeaters which power these blocks which run into the redstone torches. Then we've got a line of repeaters which power the redstone which power the redstone torches, which should just about do the trick. So the next thing that we've got to do is we've got to run redstone lines connecting all of these things up. So redstone line right there, and we're going to have a redstone line running across like this, and a redstone line connecting up all of the top ones. And then we actually have to connect up all three of these redstone lines, and the way that we're going to do that is by using some half slabs. So I'm going to run the slabs up like this, and we're going to have slabs going up there, and that should just about do it. So there we go. All of this is now connected. Now we just need to run a repeater, a comparator, and then our two hoppers back and forth into one another, then throw any old item inside that hopper. And as you can see, we now have flashing, crazy mission control lamps that look absolutely awesome. Oh, and of course, I've missed one very important thing. The chair. The chair to sit in to admire the mayhem that is going on in front of you. I mean, if you can decipher that, please let me know down in the comment section, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen for me. For this next part, we're going to need to clear out a relatively large space once again. So this is going to be 7 blocks across like this, and it is going to go right the way up to the top of the build, just like that. So we've got a 5x3 opening once again, and then we're going to go 3 blocks back, and all of this area here is going to be stone brick. So we need an area like this, and then this is going to be the back end of the stone bricks, just like that. And we're basically going to create a big stone brick cube in which we can build our potion brewing stations. Because of course this is an evil lair, we need to create evil potions and things like that to put on our enemies. So let's quickly do that. Now this is a super simple design that I absolutely love. Probably one of my favorite designs. All I need to do is chuck in a chest down the bottom. That's where our potions are going to come out. We're going to run a hopper into the side of that one, then another hopper running off in this direction right here. We're going to place a brewing stand on top. That's where the potions are going to be brewed. And then we're going to place in a hopper right there and a chest up at the top like this. That's where your water bottles are going to go in. Then, as far as the redstone is concerned, we're going to place in 2 blocks, redstone, a repeater running off in this direction, a block here with redstone dust on top, and a redstone torch right there to power the hopper. And that is all of the redstone circuitry. And then we just need to place in 2 droppers facing in this direction here, take out a few blocks, and place in 2 hoppers running into that chest. Now, I should probably explain where everything is going to go, because I'm sure quite a few of you are a little bit confused. So as I mentioned earlier on, this is where your potions come out. Don't have to worry about putting anything in there. This is where your water bottles go in, so fill it up with your water bottles. Now, this dropper right here is for your nether wart, and this dropper right here is for the other ingredients. So if you want to make a swiftness potion, then you put your sugarcane into that dropper. If you want to make, I don't know, an instant health potion, then you put your glistering melon in there, if that's the correct recipe. It basically works a little bit like that. And as you can probably tell from this bit right here, the next thing you want to do is mirror the design. I personally think it looks fantastic, and it's about to get a whole bunch better, because the way that you connect it up is by placing a redstone right there, block up like this, and then a button. And I personally like to place that block in the center to create this sort of design. It looks awesome. So make sure that you fill in all of the chests and all of the droppers and things. And one thing that I just want to say is that if you actually want to open the top chest, you're probably going to need to get yourself some stone brick stairs. So I'll quickly grab those from the inventory and place them up at the top, because otherwise these things will stay shut, and well, that's a little bit rubbish, isn't it? And finally, onto the exit to this place. Now, as you guys know, we flew in using the elytra, which means that we should probably fly out. So we're going to build a redstone contraption that will launch us out the side of the cliffside and off into the valley below. So the first thing I've got to do is clear out this 3x1 area right here. Then we're going to fill in all of the gaps with this compressed ice. Now, what that means is that when we get launched across, we'll slide across all these blocks. then make our way out of the exit. So the next thing that we've got to do is we've got to place in an immovable object. I'm going to be using a dropper. Then we're going to place a sticky piston on top, a slime block on its face right there, a button down at the bottom so that we can actually press that while we're standing here. Then from that button, we're going to take a 4-tick repeater output. That is going to run across like this and straight into our sticky piston. So when we hit that button, this piston will extend and it will shoot us out through that hole. But here's the thing, that's not particularly secretive, so I think we have to add in a piston door. To hook that up is really quite simple. All we have to do is go 1 block back from the edge of your tunnel, take out these 2 blocks right here and place in 2 sticky pistons like that, and then stone blocks on their faces, and they will extend out across the front of the walkway here, and the only thing left exposed will be the compressed ice, which unfortunately we can't really do too much about. So obviously that will be visible, but that's no big deal. So the next thing we've got to do is take a redstone torch output from this block right here on the edge of the button, and we're going to run that redstone out across like this and into that block right there. So that block that is next to the top sticky piston, we're going to run the redstone into that one. We just need to do that a bit like this. So as you can see, those pistons are currently extended, but when we hit our button, they will retract and be launched out onto the hillside and make our way right the way down to the floor. And if we had a Elytra, that would be amazing. So we have it, ladies and gents. That is our Evil Lair all done and dusted. We have got flying piston doors, drop-down mechanisms, mission control centers, atmospheric bat dispensers. We have got potion brewing stations and also player launchers that shoot the player out the side of a cliff. Now, I personally think that sounds like a lot of fun. Let me know down in the comment section if you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.